Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing Senator Natasha's rancor that happened in the House. You see, here is my own concern, because we're trying to build a better nation, a nation that has strong systems, where rules are obeyed to the letter. And this is where my concern is. I totally agree that this is a woman whose voice should not in any way be suppressed. Is a woman who should be allowed to express her views. However, in that house, there are rules. And if the rule says you can only address the Senate President, he is the leader of all of them. You can only address it from where you've been assigned. It's the house rule. What we're trying to teach young people, teach anybody who's looking from outside in, is like, this place is a sacred chamber. They are distinguished senators for a reason. Yeah. So you first go to where you are located. And then you can now protest and say, this is not my seat. I want to be properly, this is where I want to be. So that, for me, you're obeying the rule of law, because we're trying to also build a nation where people respect
the rule of law.
Rules. No matter in what condition, no matter how you think, oh, they're treating me this way. First and foremost, obey. Yeah. I mean, so I would definitely want to support
you're taking us back to military time. You see that obey before complain.
I'm
used to be a rule to silence.
I'm trying to see how we are strengthening our democracy, because you go to other countries in the world, they'll tell you to, this is the rule, obey first. Then you can begin to now write letters or request it and everything. So that's how we do this. Let me in our country, let us scatter everything.
No.
We scatter it.
Amaka, just a minute. Okay. Obey first can be your own injustices. You are consenting to an injustice against your person.
Yes.
Exactly.
Sometimes you don't have to obey.
Man, you stoop to conquer.
No. Sometimes you don't stoop. Not all the time.
Not all the time.
Not all the time.
Yes.
If the consequence of it is not so grievous, you might say, okay, let me be considerate of it. But sometimes you see that obey before complain. It was a military rule. I went to command. It means that first of all, suffer the grievance and before you can address it. Yes. So while you're being beaten down, a lot of times, sir, I'm not the one. It wasn't that you crossed that line. I'm on my way to the toilet. Girls who had to change their period pads were beaten silly in that school, and the word was obey before complain. They are being beaten. You are explaining that I did not disobey. I just went to change. You have the evidence in your hand. Maybe you've not disposed. Nobody will listen. That fact that nobody should listen it goes to the root of lack of fair hearing. It's an imbalance. It's an injustice itself.
An injustice itself.
So it's not all the time. So now, house rules or no house rules. Let's say both of them were being smaller people. Couldn't the Senate President himself be a bigger person? If she was emotional, let's assume women could give us all the time that we're emotional beings, that she was, being a woman. Couldn't the Senate President be a bigger person?
How would he have done it?
Would he have put off her mic? Would he have allowed her finish her point?
I will not address you from that place.
He was silencing her.
No, I can't address
silencing her.
You need to get to your house. Let me come to Amaka.
But he didn't do that for other people.
Amaka, let me pause you for a second. I have the callers been holding. Good morning. Thanks for calling. Hello. Good morning. Go ahead, Amaka.
Okay, you said that we're teaching the younger ones to obey before.
No, I didn't say that.
Sorry.
I'm saying that people must obey.
That people must obey. That's the same way we also, since for the past many years, was now saying no to bullying, right? That is our fight. Now we're saying no to any form of injustice, no to bullying. Speak up if you're being suppressed and bullied. Let me ask you guys, because we are moving towards, we're coming into the International Women's Month. So please, how many women do we actually have in this as senators in Nigeria? How many do we even have? So, because it brings me to the question when you ask, like I said, okay, what are the procedures for senators going on foreign trips or things like that? Regardless of anything they want to do on the procedures, a woman should always feature in everything they are doing, because now we're trying to fight for women to be included in politics, and not for the little ones that we have that are there that want to speak. We keep demeaning them, telling them that they're in a nightclub, hushing them, not letting them speak up, bullying them. That's the no. We're not going to take it. Yes,
the feminists are
spoken. No, we say no to that. Do you understand? Because there should be. This is the more reason why they should give us a little bit of. Well, if they said that they want more women in politics, we can see what's been going on over the years. Look at how many women we even have out there as senators. At least give them a little bit of grace. Extend a bit of grace to them.
Okay, let me come to you.
Yeah, I'm trying very hard to articulate what I have in mind, so it doesn't come off like. But I totally disagree with both of you. I disagree in the sense that if we have to take politics and leadership as no gender, we're aspiring to have many more women in representing us, right? And we want to balance it out that it's not about gender. That means what applies to A should apply to B, whether you're male or female. And rules must be rules. Rules are rules. Rules must be obeyed. Now, if you have to question, you don't necessarily have to question on camera. You can take the bill you are passing that day is not that by the time you pass it, it will pass first reading, second reading immediately, and it will be implemented that day. You can always pass your bill another day. You can step out of that situation, allow it phase out, then go back to lobbying. It's politics we're playing here. And we're taught in politics that you must, for you to be able to get anything, you will lobby. You see the way you enter that place? That's how you keep getting things. You will lobby your way. You will find out what exactly, you will get the stakeholders involved, your supporters, ask them, what is happening? What have I done? Why am I here? What is my purpose for being here? And how do I move out of here? Because I don't like this place. It's not going to work for my constituency. If you need to write letters, write letters. If you need to, send emails, send emails. If you need to call a meeting and say, I need to understand so that I know if you say I should be here for some time, would you still give me my privileges? I just don't like the fact that it was out there in the open. That's one. Secondly, I saw the nightclub stuff, right? And I want to use this opportunity to say that we receive information as a result. The way we receive information is the way our mindset is at that moment.
Based on our experiences.
Based on our experiences and our mindset at that time, right? Because when I saw his commenter, she spoke without being called, which was against the House rules. I'm talking about rules now. She spoke without being called. And the Senate president had to say, I've not called you for you to speak. That's not how we do it here. And he said it jokingly. This is not a, he was laughing when he said it. This is not a nightclub. And I was asking myself, with the sort of relationship that we hear they had, that was not something to be offensive about. He laughed about it. He passed it on. He may not have said it to a man, I don't know, but I'm just saying that probably her mindset, probably something else was already going on, and she received it a wrong way. But looking at the see, when person won't throw you something, get as they throw them. Looking at the disposition of the Senate president in that comment, it was more like, you know this thing now, sit down, Jare, we are not here to, this is not, this is a serious thing. But they took it, I want to say, my opinion, out of context, and then it seemed like he was deliberately shutting her down. But she flouted the rule by speaking before being asked. We're not looking at that.
You can be correct.
Good morning.
Your View will be right back.